Hey, Katrina here from Scrappy Horses. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy you're here today. I am working with a Connie Fong sunflower image and creating a couple of different cards. They're basically the same, but there are a couple of differences between these two cards. This sunflower is a lot of fun to color, and you can use it for so many different occasions. Birthdays, thinking of you, anniversaries, a nice summer card or early fall. You know, the possibilities are endless. So it's a nice one to have in your stash. I have this linked below, so if you're looking for a beautiful little sunflower digi, you can find this one. Let's go ahead and get started on this card. First, I want to share the differences. So I'm just going to bring in pictures of the finished cards and just talk about the differences between the two. On the sunflower background card, I have just the green border around the white backed sentiment. On this one, I have a white border around the black border. Coming back to this sunflower backed card, I have a green strip along the bottom here. On this one, I did not put a colored strip in Design Space because I knew I wanted to use Shimmer trim. So those are the differences between these two note cards, what we would do in Design Space. We're going to start with our Connie Fong sunflower, and I have this sized to 2.637 by 2.472. I know that's sort of an unusual size maybe, but that's just how it ended up when I decided on the size I wanted it to fit on my card. I'm going to go ahead and move this aside. The first thing I did with this is I offset it. And my first offset was done at 0.097. So I selected my sunflower. I chose the offset up here. I set it to 0.097 and I hit apply. I knew I wanted that white, so I came up to the square here, color, and white. And now I'm going to take that one, this offset, this white offset, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to come in and offset that one at 0.028. So again, I have selected that. I selected it over here, offset. Again, 0.028. I'm going to use my keyboard for that. So I'm clicking my right arrow 2 times, and that puts me at 0.028. I hit apply. Right? I'm going to select that one. I'm going to drag it out for a moment. I'm going to make that a basic cut. So I'm clicking right here where it says print and cut, and now it's a basic cut. Right, I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to select the two and come over to my right-hand panel over here and hit flatten. And now that's done. And that is for both cards. Okay, so if I bring this up, let's see here. There it is on both cards. All right, coming back over, we're going to next come up with this thinking of you. The thinking of you sentiment is from Anna's Lovely Layered Cards, and that's in your Cricut library. I'm going to just size it up here. Let's just bring it down here and we'll just kind of compare it here. Good, all right. It's about 4.985 in its width. So I know that the width of my card is 5.5. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to grab a shape. I'm going to take this now, the width being 5.5, I'm going to stick it up in this corner, and it's going to go as far as it can go to the top and to the left. Now, I know that the entire note card is going to end up being 8.5, because when we fold that over, we'll have 4.25 by 5.5. So I'm going to bring in this little piece right here, which is the larger offset. I'm going to stick it so the very bottom of it, I'm going to bump this up. The very bottom of this touches 8.5 approximately. Okay? So I'm just going to take it right down there to 8.5. Now I'm going to come up to this piece. Back this off a little bit, and let's bring it down to about the middle of our sunflower. Now I'd like to have this in the middle of this note card. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it so that it's centered in this area. So I'm going to choose the 2. I'm going to say align, and I want to center that horizontally. And there it is. Now I'm just going to come in and I'm going to combine them. So they're both selected. I come over here to combine and I say weld. Now let's just work with this lovely sunflower paper here. And that is from Sandy Woodson, and I've left a link below. These papers are free if you subscribe to her newsletter. She sends out beautiful papers every month. So if you enjoy getting beautiful papers, this is something you might want to sign up for. Again, it's in my description box below. All right, so I'm going to come up here now, and I'm going to say I would like to print then cut. I left click the square, left click color, left click pattern, and then I can come in and I can choose this pattern. All right, I select the pattern and there it is. Now I decided, if you look at this, I wanted this a little bigger. So to do that, I simply hit the edit pattern and I can move this up to the size that I would like. Okay. Next, we're going to come in with these pieces. I know that I want a rectangle shape. I'm going to go ahead and size this to a width of 5.5. Now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this 2 times. This first one is going to make this green stripe at the bottom. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly the same size as mine. It can be whatever you like. But I'm going to make a pretty good guess here. And then I'm just going to line it up here and let's see what it was. 0.5 looks like a bit too much. So let's take it up to about a 0.333. Right? We're going to put this in and I'm going to line it up right here at the bottom here. So I want to make sure that I've got this lined up as close as I can to the bottom of this without going over. So I'm going to go ahead and move this to the back for a minute. That looks really good. I'm going to move this to the back. And now I'm going to change this to a color. So I'm going to select that gray strip and I'm going to change it to my green and I'm just going to leave it alone. Next, I'm going to think about where is the fold line going to be? Well, we know it's going to be at 4.25. Let's just grab that for a minute. So we're going to come to shapes, grab this, we're going to rotate it 90. I'm doing this at my keyboard. I'm going to set it right in at 4 1/4 because I know 4 1/4 is going to be the fold line. That's halfway. So I'm going to come right up here and I'm going to type in on the Y 4.25. Now it's exactly where it goes, and I'm going to stretch it out to 5.5 inches because that's the width of our card. I am not going to attach that yet. Do not attach. We're just placing that in so that we know what we're working with. We know how much room we have on our card. Okay? Next, we're going to bring in the thinking of you. And we know that that's going to sit approximately down in here. But first, we have to get it on our white. So this is already 5 1/2. We're going to go ahead and get it to the size of the white that is here. And mine is, and you can play with this and do it whatever you want. I'm going to make it 0.55. So we want a width of 5.5. There we go. We're going to change the color to white. And we're going to bring this down here, move it to the back. We're just going to leave that alone for a minute. Now we're going to bring in this green. Again, we know it's 5.5. We're going to line it up here. Going to bring it to the back. We're going to come up and change the color up here. It's a basic cut right now, which is fine. Now we're going to take all of this, select it all, align center. And we're going to group it. That'll just keep it together as we move it. And then you can just choose where you want it on your card. Now let's bring this piece back because we know this is going to fit in right here. We'll stick this one in so we can see it. So let's just move this up a little bit. That's going to be our fold line. Take that off. We're going to select all of this, but not the score. I did not select the score. See how the score is not selected here over on the right hand side? The green, the white, the sentiment, the basic cut, and this printing cut. That's all that is selected. I'm going to come over and say flatten. Now our score line seems to have disappeared, but it really didn't. It's just now at the back. So we're going to send our card to the back, send to the back. There's our score line. Now we select the card with the score line, say attach, and this card is now ready. So let's bring this to the front. That card is finished. All I did for the inside of this is with my paper cutter, I cut a brown piece of paper 5.5 by 4.25, and you'll see when we make this, it's going to get glued in underneath. Then I did do a printing cut here, but you wouldn't have to. You could cut this on your paper and layer it. And this is going to go right up here. And that's going to be where you can write your message, your sentiment, whatever you'd like to do. Let's go to the black and white card quickly. Everything is the same. We have our offset. We have our flower. Boom, same. We created this offset. We put it in here. The only difference was we added one more white strip under the black strip. That's all we did differently over here. So basically we moved this strip that we put down here, right here, and we just made it whiter and we moved it up underneath this. That was the only difference between the two. Any comments or questions? Please let me know. in the box below, and I will gladly get back to you on that. Let's go on over to the craft table. Let's put these together because it's a super fast and easy put together. Here we are at the craft table. I have my two little sunflowers. I did color them with different colors of yellow markers, Copic markers. I have a little strip of ribbon there. There's the piece that I printed in Design Space and the card. Here's the black and white. I've got a little black shimmer trim. I have the card base. So again, with ATG, I'm just placing the white onto the yellow. That black piece is just a piece that actually has the top part still attached to it, and that's what those little white strips are, but I left it on because I thought it was cute. I went ahead, I put on that little shimmer trim, and now I'm putting the little sunflower in place, and I'm leaving just a little snippet of the bottom showing of that plaid. You can see it there. And that card's finished. Pretty simple. Card number 2. All right, so I trimmed this paper just a little bit smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's just some brown cardstock. I'm going to put the piece in that I had done in Cricut Design Space, print and cut. Again, just putting it in with a little bit of ATG. Again, placing it so that it doesn't show on the bottom. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. Just put a little stream of glue and put this little piece of ribbon in from Really Reasonable Ribbons. It's cute. It's a brown and white sort of horizontal stripe. Or vertical, well, a diagonal stripe. That's what it is, a diagonal stripe. All right, and then I'm going to glue in this sunflower with a little Fabri-Tac. Hey, that's it. That's how easy these cards were to put together. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the description box below. I am more than happy to answer and help you out. And if you enjoy working in Cricut Design Space, you might want to consider subscribing to my channel because I do quite a few Cricut videos. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful week, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Bye.